Ethereum, right? So this is what I want to show on a lower time frame. So on a lower time frame, just to get an idea of, is this going to come back down and refill this wick, or what are we doing on ETH? So when you look on a lower time frame, you can see a pennant pattern basically playing out on ETH. Okay, so I'll actually extend this out to like right here. Okay. So what's a pennant? So a pennant is basically, literally what I have drawn out. So the top is flat, and then there's an ascending lower trend line, right? Trend line below. So we'll say it can start here. So it keeps interacting with the top of this pennant, which is actually the top of the macro range that we have drawn out. So it makes sense why it keeps topping out there. All right, these lines actually do something. So tops out at the top of the pennant, boom, 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 right? And then keeps getting rejected back down into the pennant. But you see that the lows are continuing to be higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, without creating any higher highs yet. So this is a good reversal pattern. This, a lot of times, this plays out as a reversal. So you come down, you get this big nuke. This was the liquidation event down here. And then you see this pennant start to form. Now, we did get this false breakdown. It was 2 days ago. So on the 18th, we had this false breakdown. Okay, and they could use this as a fake out, right, to get people bearish on this before pumping it back into the pennant, which actually did happen. So it stuck the landing. False breakdown, get back up into the pennant, and then we're going to keep moving like this. So ideally, if this is a reversal pattern that's going to play out, and we think that scenario we had drawn out with the 1, 2, and 3 happens, then we're going to continue to do something like this. So you keep coming up, you retest it again until eventually you do what? Bang. You break out with conviction, and then you end up pumping higher. Okay, you finally break out of the range. So that's what we're looking on a lower time frame. Let's see if it plays. If it doesn't play, well, how do you see this as an invalidation? When do we say, okay, this is not going to happen? This structure did not play out. Well, then you would see something like this. So you would have to see like this, and then a breakdown again, just like we had it. Okay, so you get a breakdown just like we had, but instead of coming back up into the pennant like last time, you do an underside retest of the pennant, and then you break down. So instead of breaking back in, you break down, you do something like this, you come back down, and next thing you know, we're filling the wick. Okay, so those are our two scenarios that you want to pay attention to. So if you're looking at this on a lower time frame, you say, all right, are we going to get the wick to get filled? Pay attention to this pennant. If we break down and do an underside retest, all right, we're refilling the wick. If this still holds and this reversal pattern continues to play, which, like you said, Logan, was just true, we're going to know within the next week, over these next couple of days, if we break out of this pennant to the upside, then we're going to start moving higher. So that's on what we're looking at on a lower time frame, just for you guys who are trying to trade intra daily, which I would not recommend, but that's how you would look at that. So I think that's the first time I showed you that pattern, though. What do you think of that?
Yeah. I mean, I look at it I stay looking at it on a high time frame. I know normally we don't really look at anything lower time frame just because, Ethereum, when you zoom out, it's been in a range for 4 years. It's like, I think we both know that. That's why it's just, we keep preaching. It's so valuable to be invested in altcoins that are attached to a major,
Right.
Because you can have that conviction to know, okay, when you're invested in something that's directly correlated to the performance of the second largest asset in the entire class, you can know that eventually, it may take 6 months, it may take a year, it may take 2 years, but eventually that asset is going to move up. There's billions of dollars on the line of people that aren't willing to lose money for forever. People who are convicted to Ethereum, who have been invested in Ethereum long term, have been getting outperformed by Bitcoin for 3 or 4 years straight. Eventually, they're not going to allow that to happen any longer. Eventually, they're not going to let people just continue to print on shorts against Ethereum for years and years and years on end without any break in structure. So, eventually it is going to happen. This time of the year that we're moving into would be, historically speaking, the most logical time for it to happen.
Right.
And yeah, it's not a matter of if, Pepe and Brett and Andy and Wolf are going to get attention and hopefully they catch a bid It's like, no, I mean, if Ethereum goes up, which at some point it's going to, they're gonna catch a bid every single time. They've proven time and time and time again. Every single time Ethereum even moves up. I mean, at these levels, with how much smaller the boys club coins are, market cap wise, when Ethereum in the past couple months has pumped even 5 or 6%, we see those coins move 20 to 30% almost instantaneously.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, we're gonna get the move eventually. Ethereum's just been kind of coiling at this point, and yeah, I mean, I think it's getting ready to springboard, and yeah, we just need to see some life. And I mean, Trump's been having World Liberty continue to load up on Ethereum. I mean, they're holding what, almost a $500 million of Ethereum at this point. So, with that being said, and he's the one that's kind of on the sticks as far as what we do. Um, there's something in the works that's above our pay grade to know about, but
Right. And that's what always gives me the ultimate confidence. It's the only other asset outside of Bitcoin that has an ETF. They've applied for staking rewards on those ETFs. So now you can get a yield from holding the Ethereum ETF. BlackRock loading up on Ethereum. Trump loading up on Ethereum. Other major players loading up on Ethereum. It's going to have its time. It's going to have its time. They're not accumulating just to lose money. Impossible. Not going to happen. So ETH, yeah, absolutely. Incredibly undervalued. And it's undervalued. Ethereum's undervalued because look at this chart. Against Bitcoin, it's been down only since fucking December 21. Down only, right? It's heavily undervalued, which takes me into the next chart I wanted to take a look at with everybody because we didn't look at this on Monday. The Sol ETH chart, right? We didn't look at this, right? You don't remember this?
no, I remember someone put it in the chat.
Right. It was
Last,
TWT.
yeah, he put it in the chat last week, but yeah, we didn't look at it.
Yeah, he's a stud. He's in
Or
the
not last week, on Monday.
He's in the Discord, super active, and he's put some good stuff in there. So, so TWT was bringing this up in the chat last week, so I want to pull this up for everybody to see. So this is Sol ETH pair. Okay, so if this chart's going up, Solana is a better hold than Ethereum. So Solana's outperforming Ethereum. If this chart goes down, Ethereum is outperforming Solana. So Ethereum's a better hold. Ethereum beta is a better hold. So this chart basically went to new all-time highs. Okay, and you could argue, right? If you want to be a gambling man, if you want to try to find some confluence in these charts, you could say that this was a blow off top right here. Okay. So Solana over ETH breaks out, goes to a new all-time high. So up here, kind of rejects on its previous all-time high, which was over here. Okay. So kind of just reaccumulates right by, or bull chops right by the previous all-time high, finally breaks out, comes back down, breaks out again, come back and doing a retest. Now, you could see something happen here. You could see one of two things. You could argue that this is going to come back and retest and then shoot up a little bit higher one more time before inevitably breaking down, okay? Or if you think it's topped out now, then it's coming down to do this. It's going to break down, underside retest, and then break down from here, okay? The point being is this chart is getting towards the end of its run, okay? And if Solana starts to puke, Solana over Ethereum starts to puke, that means Ethereum's outperforming Solana. That's a good thing for us in our beta. And I'm curious to hear what you think about this, but the mind share that Solana has on the market right now, I can't imagine how it could get any more mind share. It had the Trump coin, it had the Libra coin, Melania coin, all the shit coins, Dave Portnoy, everybody's launching all their meme coins on Solana. So you're having all this degeneracy, all this on-chain action happen on Sol. In my opinion, I don't see how it could gain any more mind share against Ethereum at this point where it could continue to outperform. I just don't see it happening. So when I see this little blow off top on this chart, that gets me excited because then I say, okay, hold on a second. This is showing me that now Ethereum has to start outperforming. There's not much more room for Solana to outperform ETH. So, and then of course, oh yeah, there he is right there. Yeah, Sol ETH is cooked, bro. Clear liquidity shift from Sol to ETH. Exactly. So, and what's happening then is as people start to get fed up with Solana and they're done with the trenches, done getting fucking absolutely robbed in the trenches, they start to rotate all that liquidity over to Ethereum because they see how undervalued it is. And this chart starts to puke. ETH starts to pump, ETH BTC starts to pump.